frequent questions I get is within Session Explorer, where can I see when an athlete's effort actually took place in a game or practice? So we're going to go over how to find a top speed and then export the animation for social media or for whatever reason. So I go to Session Explorer. Down here, these blue lines are activity bars. This measures and this gives me a good idea of when specific portions of the game or practice might be happening. The more activity that your sensors are going through, the higher these blue activity bars are going to be. So the valleys show you things like halftime, or in this case right here, pregame, when we go back into the locker room, and then separate certain dips within action. So you might be able to identify the quarters here and here, or whatever the case may be. So, in order to find a top speed, I've added a player compare chart. Again, you can go to add chart, click player compare, and then I've filtered by top speed because I want to find an athlete's top speed when that happened, when that effort occurred in our game. So Josh Pardue here in this game hit 21.1 mile per hour. So we're going to get a little animation for Josh and send it over his way. I know for a fact that this is the first half. So I can click and drag and I can highlight this section. Now you saw that the player compare chart filtered out any efforts that occurred outside of this section. So you can highlight just this portion and you can look at any of the metrics within our normal player compare chart. And it's going to show you just the data that occurred during that highlighted section. If you want to move this slider bar, you can move it here. So let's say I want to just look at the second half. All right, I can do that here. I can click and drag. So if I click this end and I just want to filter down to this section, I can do that as well. Now let's find when Josh's happened. So I know it happened in the first half because we started at 7:30 and it's showing me that Josh's 21 mile per hour effort happened somewhere in this time frame. Now, I can click and I can make this section smaller. All right. So, for instance, that might be the first 30 minutes, that might be the first quarter. All right. But Josh's effort went away. His top speed is now gone. So, that I know it did not happen in that section. So, it must have happened in this section there. And sure enough, there it is. So, by clicking and dragging, I can isolate this down to a specific amount of time and a specific place or play when that effort happened. Now, I can go over here to the magnifying glass and hit the plus sign, and it's going to highlight certain portions for me. I know that this effort happened in the 8:27 minute. So I'm going to go ahead and filter this down and then zoom in a little bit more. And then further, I know that it happened on this play right here. Now, I don't want any of the extra in the animation that I'm going to export. I just want the play itself. So I'm going to highlight down and I'm going to filter out any of the time after the play. So for instance, the play is over about right there. So I'm going to pull the end bar in this way. All right. And then I'm going to press play to watch the play and make sure that this is where this is actually the play that I want. So I know he hits 21 mile per hour. All right. The clip would have started pre snap and ended right there. All right. I can manipulate the view of the clip here by using my mouse, clicking and dragging and rotating this around the way that I want it to be. So if I like that view right there, all right, so now it's just showing me the play here from pre-snap all the way to the end of the play. Once I'm satisfied with what I'm seeing on here, this will be my animation. I'm going to click export animation and it's going to start recording. I'm going to send this to my desktop and click save. And once it's saved, I can either email it to myself, email it to the athlete. I can upload it to Google Drive if I need to do it that way. But both of those things will give me access to it on my phone so that I can post it for social media. Now, one thing to note is that you cannot close this out. So if I close this screen out or close this tab out, it's going to stop the recording. I want to wait till it says recording 100%. The larger the clip, the longer that recording takes, and the more difficult it is, just the more time that it's going to take to record that clip and capture that. I can go to different tabs and work on other things that I'm working on, but I just cannot close this tab out. Once it hits 100%, it's going to save automatically to wherever I told it to save. One more note is that the clip must be under 1 minute. So this export animation bar, when the highlighted portion is greater than 1 minute, this export animation bar looks just like this. All right, so I cannot click this because it's currently recording. But usually, like if let's say I haven't clicked recording yet, if that's not there, it's because the time frame that I'm telling it to record is over 1 minute. So filter it down a little bit more, and that button will show up there. If you have any other questions, just let us know.